She beat Venus Williams, then Venus chose her anyway. She defeated a legend. Then the legend asked her to be her partner. Here's the part no one is telling you. A 21-year-old from a country with almost no tennis history walks onto a court in Washington, D.C. next to a 7-time Grand Slam champion. Cameras are rolling. Fans are calling them the most unlikely partnership in the sport. And almost nobody covering this story is asking the one question that actually matters. Why would Venus Williams, a woman who has played alongside the greatest doubles team in tennis history, who has her pick of any partner on tour, choose a 21-year-old from the Philippines who had never played a single WTA main draw match until last year? The moment nobody remembers, but should. Before you get comfortable, I want you to hold on to one date, January 5th, 2026. Not July, not the Wimbledon run everyone's talking about. January, Auckland, New Zealand. Because what happened on that court, months before either of them ever thought about pairing up, is the real reason this story exists. And by the end of this video, you'll understand why that one match matters more than every headline written since. If you want more stories that dig past the highlight reel and into the timeline that actually explains what's happening in sports, subscribe now, because this channel is about to get into exactly that kind of story. Who is Venus Williams? Really? Let's start with the player everyone already thinks they know. Venus Williams turned professional as a teenager in the 1990s and spent the next 3 decades rewriting what women's tennis was allowed to look like. 7 Grand Slam singles titles, 5 of them at Wimbledon, 14 Grand Slam doubles titles, every single one of them won standing next to her sister, Serena. 4 Olympic gold medals, 1 in singles, 3 in doubles alongside Serena, plus a silver in mixed doubles from Rio. She was the first black woman in the Open era to reach world number 1. She fought for equal prize money at Wimbledon and won that fight in 2007. At 46 years old, in the summer of 2026, she is still walking onto tour-level courts. Not for an exhibition, not for nostalgia. She is still choosing to compete, and more importantly, she is still choosing who stands on the other side of the net with her. That choice is not sentimental. It never has been for Venus Williams. Who is Alex Eala, and why her story is different from every other rising star? Now to the other side of the story. Alexandra Eala is 21 years old. She's from the Philippines, a country that lives and breathes basketball, that turned Manny Pacquiao into a national institution, but that had never once produced a genuine contender in women's professional singles tennis. When Eala picked up a racket at 4 years old, there was no map for her to follow. No Filipino Serena Williams. No established pipeline. No blueprint at all. Her mother, Rosemary, had once represented the Philippines in swimming at the Southeast Asian Games, so the family understood discipline and sacrifice. But professional tennis is a different beast entirely. It demands money, travel, international coaching, and for a young girl trying to make it, leaving home before you're old enough to really understand what that costs. Eala's talent got noticed early at Les Petits, as in France, one of the most respected junior events in the world, and that success opened the door to the Rafa Nadal Academy in Mallorca, Spain. She left the Philippines to train there, thousands of miles from her family, her language, her food, everything familiar, inside an academy built on the standards of one of the most relentless competitors the sport has ever produced. In 2022, still a teenager, she won the girls' singles title at the US Open, becoming the first Filipino player ever to win a junior Grand Slam singles title, and doing it without dropping a single set. It made her a symbol back home before her professional career had even proven itself. That's a heavy thing to carry. A junior Grand Slam title doesn't guarantee survival on the WTA Tour. It doesn't prepare you for the physical gap between junior tennis and grown women who've spent years solving exactly the problems you're bringing onto the court. She had to make that leap on her own. And in the spring of 2025, she finally did. Miami, the run that made the world pay attention, ranked a modest number 140 in the world, carrying a career tour-level record that was barely above water. Eala walked into the 2025 Miami Open as a wild card. What happened next is one of the most remarkable underdog runs professional tennis has seen in years. She beat Jelena Ostapenko, a Grand Slam champion, rallying back from 4-0 down. Then she beat Madison Keys, the reigning Australian Open champion and world number 5, in straight sets. Then, in the quarterfinals, in front of a stunned Hard Rock Stadium crowd, she beat Iga Swiatek, at the time ranked world number 2, a 5-time Grand Slam champion. 6-2, 7-5. Rafael Nadal himself posted his congratulations. She became the first woman from the Philippines to ever defeat a top 30 opponent. She did it 3 times in the same tournament. She finally fell in the semifinal to Jessica Pegula in a tight 3-setter, 7-6, 5-7, 6-3. But the damage, in the best possible sense, was already done. The Filipina teenager who'd entered the tournament almost unknown outside her home country left it as the first Filipina to ever reach a WTA semifinal, and she was about to crack the world's top 100 for the first time in her career. The heartbreak that could have broken her. Just a few months later, in June 2025, Eala reached her first WTA Tour final at the Lexus Eastbourne Open on the English grass, against fellow rising star Maya Joint of Australia. It should have been the storybook ending. Eala led. She had championship point, then another, for championship points in the deciding set tiebreak, for chances to become the first Filipino singles champion in WTA Tour history. She didn't convert a single one. Joint saved all 4 and won the tiebreak 12-10 to take the title, 4-6, 6-1, 7-6. Eala cried on court. She admitted afterward it took her months before she could even watch the highlights again. It's the kind of loss that ends careers before they really start. Not because of the scoreline, but because of what it does to belief. Here's the thing you need to sit with for a second. That kind of collapse at that stage in front of that much attention is exactly the moment where a promising young player either shrinks or grows. We're about to find out which one Alex Eala became. But first, we need to go back, because the answer to why Venus Williams eventually chose her was already written before any of this happened. The match that actually explains everything. Rewind again to January 5, 2026. The ASB Classic in Auckland, New Zealand, a modest WTA 250 event, the kind of tournament that barely makes international headlines. In the first round of the women's doubles draw, a 20-year-old Alex Eala and her 18-year-old American partner, Iva Jovic, were drawn against a team that, on paper, had no business being challenged. Venus Williams and Alina Svitolina, a former world number 1 alongside a former world number 3, a pairing carrying a combined 16 Grand Slam doubles titles between them. It was billed as one of the highlights of the tournament's opening day. It did not disappoint. Williams and Svitolina jumped out to a 5-3 lead in the first set, on the verge of closing it out. Eala and Jovic saved 8 set points, clawed their way back, and won the tiebreak 9-7. Then they dismantled the veterans in the second set, 6-1, closing it out in under an hour and a half. Eala called it the highlight of her career to that point. And listen to how she described the moment afterward, because it tells you everything about who she is. She said sharing the court with 2 pioneers of the sport was something she dreamed of since she was a kid watching them on TV. That's humility. But strip away the humility and look only at the scoreboard. 2 teenagers had just beaten one of the greatest doubles competitors alive. Venus Williams did not read a scouting report on Alex Eala. She did not hear about her from a coach or see a highlight clip on social media. She felt it live across the net in real time. She watched a 20-year-old refuse to fold at 3-5 down. She watched the left-handed angles, the return depth, the composure in a tiebreak that could easily have gone the other way. This is the reversal almost nobody talks about. The story of Venus and Eala isn't a legend generously opening a door for a hopeful young player. It's a legend getting beaten and remembering exactly who beat her. The comeback nobody saw coming. If Auckland had been the whole story, it still wouldn't fully explain what came next, because Venus needed more than one match's worth of evidence. She got it. Over the following 6 months, Alex Eala turned a single-statement win into an undeniable pattern. In June 2026, she won the Lexus Birmingham Open, her second career WTA 125 title and her first on grass, battling back from a set down to beat her own doubles partner Nikola Bartankova 5-7, 6-3, 7-5 in the final. A week later in Berlin, at a WTA 500 event, She beat world number 2 Elena Rybakina in straight sets, 7-5, 6-4, rallying from an early breakdown, her 5th career win over a top 10 opponent. The very next night, she beat Alina Svitolina again, this time in singles, 6-3, 6-4, to reach her first WTA 500 semifinal. 2 players, 2 different formats. Same opponent Liszt Venus had watched her handle in Auckland. Then came Bad Homburg on the German grass, where Venus Williams and Alex Eala stepped onto a professional court together for the very first time as an actual doubles team. They won their opening match. They reached the quarterfinals before falling to the second seeds, Olivia Nichols and Teresa Mihalikova. Respectable. But more than that, it was proof the partnership Venus had chosen wasn't a publicity pairing. It was 2 competitors who had already tested each other and come away with mutual respect. Wimbledon, the run that made her a national symbol. Then came the moment that turned Alex Eala from rising star into a name the entire tennis world knew. At Wimbledon 2026, Eala entered as the number 29 seed, the first Filipino player in history to be seeded in a Grand Slam singles draw. Seeding isn't sentiment. It's the tournament looking at your results and telling the world you belong. She opened by beating Renata Zarazua in straight sets. In the next round, she faced Maya Joint, the same player who had broken her heart at Eastbourne the year before. This time, after dropping the first set, Eala won the next 2, 6-2, 6-0, in what she called a kind of quiet redemption. Then, on center court, came the defending champion, Iga Swiatek, the same player Eala had stunned in Miami the year before. Eala won a brutal first set tiebreak 11-9, then took the second set 6-2. Straight sets against the reigning Wimbledon champion. It made Eala the first Filipino player in the Open era to reach the 4th round of a Grand Slam singles event. She would go on to lose a tight 3-setter to 2024 finalist Jasmine Paolini, 6-4, 4-6, 6-3, in the round of 16. But by then, the run had already rewritten what was considered possible for tennis in the Philippines. She climbed to a career-high ranking inside the world's top 30. And in a nice piece of symmetry that connects back to where this whole story started. On the very same day Eala was stunning Swiatek on center court, Serena Williams, Venus's own sister and doubles partner for over 2 decades, was forced to withdraw from her own doubles match at Wimbledon due to injury.